Hi, I'm Seth, and this is Dungeons & Die Rolls. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and putting a little something together with my pledge from Dwarven Forge, Hellscape. So, Hellscape was Dwarven Forge's Kickstarter campaign last year, and they had it structured into 3 encounters, basically 3 packages of terrain that they were offering. And some of it was common pieces. They had their new lava-themed terrain, floors and walls and such. And then each encounter also had some unique pieces that would only be available in that. As always, I wanted to get as much of it as I could, but money being what it is, I could only afford to get one of the encounters. So I went for the 3rd encounter, which is the Soulcage Vault. And I went for it because it was the largest that I could afford, and also because I really wanted the very cool Magma River pieces. I thought those were the neatest things. They were the bee's knees of the terrain in there. So I'm really looking forward to unpacking this, and I will see what I can whip up quickly with a few of my existing sets that I had before this and kind of make a little bit of a combined build. All right, so here we are. Not the largest Dwarven Forge box I've gotten, but no sloucher, that's for sure. Lovely, just completely missed that cut. Went way diagonal on camera. Way to go, dude. Alright. This is probably just packing slip. Yep. Encounter 3, Soulcage Vault, painted. That's right. So, when I get these larger orders, I pull them out of here and I go a box at a time and I double check the contents against the little descriptive. They have the contents there of the picture of what's supposed to be in there. And I always just double check because occasionally, especially when you get a larger amount like this, there's room for error. And I've had positive experiences with Dwarven Forge customer service, always sending me anything that's missing as soon as they can. But you won't know to contact customer service if you don't know that you're missing it. Oh, beautiful already. I love it. So, I guess my memory is faulty because my recollection, this is going back like 2 campaigns, my recollection was that you had to pay extra to get the magnets on the bottom of the tiles, and I would not do that because I don't have a strong use for putting these onto their metal terrain trays so that the magnets snap onto the tray and you can carry the thing around. But I guess I must be misremembering and the magnets just come standard now. So anyway, this is, the majority of these pieces are made in this translucent yellow dwarvenite, and that both contributes to the lava glow and also allows you to put them on top of light panels that they made that will then shine through and make it look like it's glowing. I did not pay for that because I didn't have the money and I wasn't sure how frequently useful it would be, but it's still very cool looking. And I love these. These are large floors, and they have a couple of these little spouts coming up with the lava trickling down out of them. And this one is a little bit warped along the corner, but I bet that some time with a heat gun can fix that up. So I've got 2 of those, which is what the box says I should have. Beautiful. Alright. And recycling week after getting a Dwarven Forge order is always an interesting one. There's a lot of little boxes here and bagged pieces to break down and chunk in there. So I think I just said chunk in there. But that's okay. We're just doing stream of consciousness here. Even more lava magma goodness. Wonder what the difference is. Is lava fresh and flowing and magma is freestanding? I don't know. I'll have to look that up when I'm done with the video. So these are, I think these are just beautiful. I love the coloring on the lava with the different shades going from yellow to the dusky orange there. And I love the colors that they did on the rock. It's blackened to obsidian by the heat of the lava around it. And I just think that this whole Hellscape set is just gorgeous. One thing that I do wish a little more of, and I think I'm going to see it in some of the other pieces, is I wish that... So this is pretty good in terms of delineating the inches, if you're going to actually use this for measuring the movement of your characters during tactical combat. So this is pretty good with these stones being in roughly an inch, but some of these other pieces is not as clear, especially when you're in the middle of the pools. If you end your movement there or something like that, or you're flying over it, is not as clear where everything is if you're trying to be precise with your movement. But it's not as bad as the forest set was. And then this is a cool little just pillar dribbling down with the lava, and it can go into the rest of it, or this is built to fill up corners. So if I had something like this, center it a little bit more. If I had something like this, then I can use this piece to fill in that corner right there. And it looks a little more natural. So that's awesome. All right, so these are rising lava walls. This is going to be intended for going on either side of the lava waterfall piece, which I'm really looking forward to opening. And they go from your regular wall height up a bit. And I've got 2 in each direction there. This is lava trifecta terrain. Oh, there is, holy moly, there is a ton of stuff in this deceptively small box. For those of you who are new to Dwarven Forge, or only had some older pieces and have not paid attention to them in recent years very much, the Trifecta System is something that they've come up with 3 Kickstarters back, maybe, ish. Don't quote me on that. But in recent years. And it's a pretty cool system to increase the versatility of pieces. And so the idea is you have pieces with these beveled ledge edges, and then you have pieces like this. And that's not an awesome example because those are not the pieces that go together, but this is. So here's, we have that, and we have this. And so this piece can be used like this, and it can go around thusly, and it provides a slope downwards to go onto negative terrain space. So you have your lava river or a terrain tray or a black piece of crafting foam for a cavern or something. It provides the slope going down. And similarly, you can have this, and it can make a perimeter wall around something, or it can be in the middle of your terrain tray to break up the space, or even in the middle of, you can put it on top of other pieces and, you know, have a wall there. But then you can take this and flip it around, and it connects together to make a corner piece like that. And so that's the idea with the Trifecta pieces, that they can be used in 3 different ways. And so this is cool to flesh out additional corners if you're just building large chambers of this, or you can take it and boom, you have your ledges. And so they have those in just a bunch of different shapes. My table is already starting to get crowded here. This is a large encounter. Ooh, so I just grabbed one of the special set pieces for this encounter, which is the Pedestal of Pain. And if that sounds uncomfortable, it's probably supposed to. I'm going to start off with this base here, and this is just awesome. It's huge, and it's got this really cool runic circle embedded around the lava pit there, and there are stairs leading up to it, and just dribbles of oozing lava all around, and there are some demonic icons engraved into the sides here. Very Doom-esque to me. And I'm going to pull out these tabs because this piece lights up. Oh, yes. Then there's this little topper here in case one circle with demonic runes isn't enough for you. Here is a second magma ring with more demonic runes in this circle around it. And I could fit that right on there. Or of course this can just go any place I would like to have a demonic rune thing. And I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? So we got that. And then the actual soul cage is right here. And this is wicked looking. Like, you do not want it stuck inside here. So there are 2 parts to this. There's this platform that goes in the bottom. And again, that's pretty cool just as it is. It's all engraved with demon faces and runic stuff. And you could put this anywhere. You could put this in the middle of a dungeon to be a necromancer's magic circle kind of thing. And it also, of course, fits right onto the top of that pedestal there. And then we have this very wicked looking, lots of blades. You are not going to try to climb out of this. And that goes right there. Ta-da! And of course, that's the perfect size to have a mini inside trapped in the Soulcage Vault, awaiting the outcome of the evil ritual. It's very nice. And there are a couple of these neat, hellish blades, and these are pull accessories. And Dwarven Forge has been doing these for a while as I throw it on the table. There are a ton of different pull accessories here, and they all go into the same slot in the terrain. So I can put this here, and there are a couple of places on here to decorate it with these pull accessories. And anything else that I have would also fit in there, and this could fit into anything I have. So I could have my castle parapets with these wicked, huge blade things on top of them, which is pretty awesome. I'm a fan of the Soulcage. Next up is a third of the way through the encounter. This is the first of 3 layers of boxes as I attempt to cut my own thumb off. All right, and this is very simply the entryway. So it's coming from a hallway here, and it just opens up, and immediately there's this big spill of lava, but it opens up into a larger cavern space. So this is awesome for putting 2 rooms near each other, or if you're having one chamber with a hallway and then you wanted to go into another chamber, it opens up like that. I also got another box over there. I got a Caverns to Hell transition piece, and it's similar to this, but the side over here is painted without any lava in there, so it's regular caverns with the gray rock, and then it gradually becomes charred and lava-y as it gets through the passage. And so that's really good for connecting this set to existing caverns, and I'm going to try that out when I'm done opening all of this. Second layer has been started. Look at how I cut away from myself this time. Safety tips. This is, I don't know, it's just a skew. Oh, nice. So this has some altar-y looking pieces and some peg accessories for them. And look at that. That is just a huge pillars of obsidian with runic stuff on the top and lava spilling out from all over. This is gorgeous, and of course it becomes even more gorgeous when it's thrown on the table, when it's lit up and glowing. Oh, that is so cool. I love this set. Aha! Here are some really cool, this was a stretch goal, some really cool walls of flame. And of course these could be obstacles in your dungeon build. They can be used as spell effects. If someone casts something, you just plop them down. They're just really nice. Translucent plastic is always cool. Well, I mean, when it's appropriate, it's always cool. It's not cool if, like, they had sent me everything and it was spontaneously translucent. I wouldn't appreciate that. So here are the cool little altar pieces. Looks like a blood-soaked altar kind of thing on the top. Very spiky, very demonic looking. And that is a peg accessory hole on the top. So in this box right here are these little, like, demonic icons that you can put on there. And it's a bladed, looks like a religious kind of thing. Or, of course, I could use the pieces that I showed earlier. The huge blades, and have these as some kind of warding posts or declaring someone's territory, whatever I wanted to put in there. And it also came with, ooh, look at these little, like, bronzed gargoyle pieces. How cool is that? Very sweet. These are going to look nice sitting on some castle parapets. Maybe sitting on the expandable longboat that I got from Caverns Deep. The options are wonderful. And here's just one big honkin' lava mini volcano. And if this is not a centerpiece of your lava room, I don't know where the heck it goes. And this is another wonderful one with light up action. Yash. So that glows all the way up in there as it spews forth its fiery death water. This box is a Stalagmite pack, so it's just got a bunch of stalagmites, curiously enough, that you can use. And there are some that are meant to be just freestanding scatter terrain. A lot of these, you can see the right angle bend at the back, so they work really well, like I showed earlier, to fill in corners where your walls don't quite line up because of the way that you've constructed your perimeter. And so you can stick those in there in a corner and it fills it up. I love this. This is very tall, little pools of lava in the holes. As I work my way through these boxes, I'm suddenly becoming concerned that I don't have a large enough table to do a video of this. It's obviously not actually taking up all my table, but at least the visible area on the camera. And this is lava walls, floors, and corners. So these are going to be your basic building blocks of making rooms. You have corners, have some nice wall. These are called floors. And if you watch any of the official Dwarven Forge videos, I feel like I have to pay a bit of homage and say that these are your bread and butter pieces. So here's an example of, if I had these corners here to make a little pocket, then I have a floor in front of it, and I have this wall that I want to line up with the front of the floors. Now there's this divot in here between where the wall for this ends, where that is, and so that's where I would use one of these 90-degree pieces just to fill that in. That's what those are for. I skipped over opening a second box of those walls and corners because I figured it's not super interesting to watch twice, but you might have noticed there's a steadily growing pile of stuff here to my side. Here is one of the things that I was really looking forward to, and that is the Molten River. And I just thought this was gorgeous. Oh. I just love the number of different shades on there, from the yellow through the light orange to the darker to the crusted red, and then there's little black crusty spots on top where there's rock that's still in the process of melting into the lava. It's just so cool. And this, now, I think that this yellow dwarvenite must be a less robust, not in terms of durability to break, but in terms of how firm it is when it comes out of the molds, because I'm noticing quite a number of these pieces are fairly warped on the floors, but I'm sure that some careful time with the heat gun is going to be able to let me bend them right back into place. But it is definitely, I mean, like you can see, that is between the lack of a right angle here and the way that this is curling up. Definitely not a flat piece. Still, I'm sure I'll be able to fix that. It's just unfortunate that I must. And here is the giant, beautiful waterfall? No, magma fall. There we go. And that lights up. And so these are just the the special pieces, if you will. This is falling down. This can be the origin of your magma river, or it can be coming from a level above. And then this is designed to be a terminating or going through to another part, so I could have this. And then this has the bank leading down into a lava terrain tray or negative space, or if you are doing a higher level, then that would be the piece up here leading down onto the top of that, and then it goes. But that's just beautiful. Okay, I skipped over opening another box that was just more floors, walls, corners. Very cool that I have so many of those to be able to build a large hell space, but again, didn't see the need to keep opening the same thing on camera. Here, however, is the rest of the river pieces, and I am so happy to have so many of these. Although when you're building, it never seems like you actually have a lot of anything, so you're always looking at it going, man. Alright. So that's a little diagonal corner. Here we have curved corners. Here's straight pieces. And more straight pieces. Excellent. So the idea is that you can do some beautiful action, like get some of this stuff going on here. Go back around. And this is just... Oh, okay, so this is my little Y piece here. Why? Because I can. So this is going to be that and terminate in a thing, and then this can go here and terminate in a thing. It's just, I can't quite see all that. But that's okay. That's super cool. And then you just fill in the rest of the space with floors. You have a gorgeous, huge river. So awesome. All right, and then the final thing to open is going to be the Hell Gate, the big drawbridge. And what could be cooler than having a huge river of lava? Well, having a huge river of lava with a huge demonic drawbridge that you need to cross. I mean, that is the obvious answer here. I mean, come on, working chain winch here. Unfortunately, not quite working as is, because I'm going to have to, again, bend these back into shape, so it doesn't quite want to hold the stuff, but that's okay. It'll bend. A little unfortunate that the stuff is quite so warped upon arrival. I know that is the nature of molded resin things, and it happens, but would be nice to not have to do quite so much touch-up work when I got so much of the stuff. It's unfortunate, but anyway, it's going to be there, and I'll have the chains to control the drawbridge with, and that's awesome. And this is, I mean, come on, if that is not an imposing piece of architecture, then I surely do not know what is. I'm just looking up at that and seeing you have to pass through it. It looks like pieces of flesh along the sides inscribed with bloody runes. It's just so cool. And the huge gargoyle skull heads mounted on top. That is a beautiful, beautiful piece of work there. Okay, so I unpacked the rest of the pieces for this, and I may actually have to go back and revisit the instructional video for the Hellgate to see how it's all supposed to go together and support itself and that kind of thing. But look at that, is the drawbridge. That is and these are some post accessories, huge metal blades coming up out of the ground there, and those will look awesome any number of places. So I'm going to double check how to put that gate together, and I'm going to build a little something with these various pieces. Oh, and there's this, I forgot, there's this these Phantasmal Filters here, and these are translucent pieces of plastic that you can put on the table. And so this works for the river, the magma river, to flow down into it, or any of those bank trifecta pieces can lead down into that. And then they're translucent so that if you get the light boxes, you can have light shining through them, and they'll be like glowing lava, and that's super cool. All right, off to build. And here is a little build that I made using not all but most of the Soulcage Forge pieces. That's not what it's called. Soulcage Vault. And some other Caverns stuff that I had just to lead into it. So we have stairs leading down from the outside into the original cavern. And that's one of the Hellscape runic circle pieces with a drow wizard next to it, getting ready to summon something evil. And then one of the passages goes from there into a crystal chamber that's all glowing beautifully. And there are a few monstrous spiders in there ready to attack adventurers as they wander in. And if you go the other direction after defeating that drow priestess, you have, see the transition corridor there as it gets more and more hellish and lavaful, and it opens up into this large space, and there's a, I forget, he's brew or something like that, demon creature ready to attack, and just beyond him is the soul cage, and I have lava coming in a river from that waterfall around the cage, out with my camera cord, out the side of the wall there, and in the middle of it are a couple of fire elementals who are ready to harass people as they try to figure out how to cross that lava. And then should they get past all of that with an awesome big spout there, then in the distance is a castle in the depths of hell, and it has a couple of archers manning the walls, and of course a fearsome Baelor guarding the drawbridge. Couple of things about that drawbridge. The winch that I was complaining about being warped isn't as bad as I thought it would be, because when it snaps into the back of the gate there, you see the chains coming out the skulls. When it snaps into the back, that forces the plate to be mostly flat. It still is not tight enough for me to suspend the drawbridge in an open position. It'll fall down, but it is it's tight enough that the winch doesn't just fall out of the mount. The other thing is that the drawbridge is actually supposed to connect to the front of that piece of terrain right there. Has little feet that came with it that are supposed to clip on there, but the holes are not drilled into the floor. There are little indentations where they should go, but no actual holes to attach the feet there. So I've had to attach the drawbridge further back onto the bottom of the gate. I'm going to contact customer service to see if the pieces were all mismanufactured or if I got a defective one. But that's just an example of something that can be done with a few sets of some beautiful Dwarven Forge. And I hope that this inspires you to buy some and to build something beautiful for your players. And I'm going to be doing some more videos about role-playing things in the near future. So if this entertained and interested you, go ahead and subscribe and see what's coming up. Have a good one.